on that first leg?
Disappointed with a lot of the first half. I thought we were playing in fits and starts without really having any real impetus and concerted pressure. Obviously, I thought we hit the post with a couple of moments, but I thought, and by and large, wasn't happy with the first half performance. I thought we never held our width as much as we should have, and we were too eager with our runs from midfield. We thought we were up in the game too much, and we needed to bring a bit more intelligence to the game, but we also needed to be a wee bit more enthusiastic with some of our tempo and just move the ball a wee bit quicker. We spoke about things at half time, we tried to address one or two things, and I thought we were far better second half. I thought we played forward, we timed runs better, we connected the game better, and I thought the second half gave us a far better chance of causing them problems. We get the goal, which we deserved at that point. I don't think they caused us too many problems in terms of goal mouth chances or saves for Ivo to make. And I felt the second goal was coming. I felt that there was some decent passages of play. Obviously, Gas has got to score to make it 2, and a big moment that. But again, that comes from timing the runs and being a wee bit more connected to the game. And then the red card changes it, because from then on in it's just about trying to manage the last part of the game, the last 15-20 minutes or so, and make sure we get a victory. So positives are we get a clean sheet, it's another win, it's another goal for big Naderi, and we've got something to take over to the Czech Republic. But I think in the bigger scheme of things there's still loads of work to do here, and those improvements. But it's important that while we're looking for those improvements, I've said this the last few weeks, it's important that we try to win games of football, and we try and build a bit of confidence. But I thought we looked quite young at times, and enthusiasm, the work rate was there in bucket loads, and I'll take that. But we need to show a wee bit more composure and a wee bit more poise to more play.
When you say make improvements, do you believe that the current players you've got in here can make those improvements, or do you think you have to add to your squad? Talking about experience there.
No, we do need to add to the squad. No, it's clear. But the players that we add, I think, will help get the improvements for the ones here. So the improvements come from out with, but the improvements also come from within. And I think having a couple of different options for us to play, players with a high level and players that we're trying to get. And we will get them, I'm pretty sure of that. But it's just those improvements in terms of quality and creativity and all the rest of it will make a big difference to this team.
From what you've seen this evening, do you have that belief in what will be key going over to the second leg to finish the job?
Yeah, I think we obviously keep 11 men in the park, and obviously keep the good from today's game, the second half in particular. I think there was no real surprises from them. Obviously they changed the midfield shape in terms of going with 3 out and out midfielders rather than Govan the 10 who's been playing for them. I thought they got a bit more legs and a bit more energy than because of that. So there was no real surprises from them. I just want us to be better, to be honest. I think we'll have to be better. Normally in Europe, if you don't get through a European tie, if you only play well in one leg, and we've got to make sure we're as strong as we can be next week, a stronger performance, and I'm confident we've got enough in us to go and do that.
Derek, what did you make of Cammy's red card? Up on the country, we thought it might be VAR for a penalty. Couldn't initially see it. What was your reaction to it, and have you spoken to him after the game?
I've not spoken. We spoke to him briefly. I was shocked as well. We all thought it was a red card, and we were just debating who was taking the penalty, because obviously Lawrence wasn't on the pitch yet. I haven't seen it again. That is a red card. There's no debate. I think it looks a hell of a lot worse than it actually was. I think what Cammy's trying to do, and I haven't spoken to him, but I've seen him doing this before when he's trying to buy fouls. He's trying to just get his leg up and put his body in to be fouled, and because he's in the penalty box, he's obviously trying to feel the contact to get down, but because where his leg goes up to try and put his body in, it's caught the ball in the shin, and it looks terrible. And when you see the stills of it, it looks like a red card all day long, but I think it looks worse than it actually was, if you know what I mean. So far from ideal, particularly when you, for a brief moment, you think it's going for, you've got a chance to go 2-0 up and try and hammer home some authority.
Derek, you were saying still loads of work to do here. You'd still like to add to the squad. McInnes is another name that's been mentioned today, just how close are you to adding some further quality in that top end of the pitch?
Yeah, well, I'll pick up with that straight after the game with everybody involved. So, we are kind of trying in a few different areas to get the right players in, but it's players with the right quality. We're getting loads of players put to us. We've been really concentrated and focused on certain ones, and hopefully, as I say, I'm quite hopeful we can do one in the next few days, and we're working extremely hard, because I do think that having that extra level of pace and quality and invention at the top end of the pitch is going to be massive for this team, for our team. And if we can get that, I'm pretty confident we can keep getting improvements for the team.
You mentioned the clean sheet being a positive tonight. McInnes won the man of the match. You must be delighted how quickly he settled into the back four.
Aye, very much so, to be honest. When you come from the MLS, a different type of football, you've seen a lot of games in the MLS, it's all a bit slow and a lot of it's pedestrian-like. But what we did like about him when we watched him was his ability to go man for man, his ability to not lose a foot race, his calmness in the ball. It's a different type of football, obviously, MLS to what he's having experience here, but I do think he's dealt with everything we've asked him. And I think it's right that you mentioned him, to be honest, because I think he's come in where the team's not been at its best, and he's coming from the outside in and just trying to settle in. And I think there's a lot of them in that sense where there's those adjustments. It's a lot of young players, a lot of players signed that we're trying to integrate and get those sort of connections, but he's done really well, and I think there's a lot more to come for him as well.
So just for no game at the weekend, David, it's an important week, it could be a big week in terms of getting deals done. It'll give you that wee bit of time and space maybe to get some more over the line.
Yeah, I think we're focused, certainly our focus will be try to get the improvements for the second leg, and obviously anybody signed can't play in the second leg, but I do feel this, before we go to Tawdry I think Sunday, then we would like to have a couple of additions in. The club are well aware of that, everybody's trying hard, and as I said before, these ones are normally the more difficult ones to get, the ones where you're paying the bigger ticket money, and but clearly we could do with that. But I think for this week it'll be good just to, because it's been Thursday, Thursday, not too much time to work on things. A lot of times been recovery. A chance to everybody to take a breath. We're in tomorrow, we'll train. We're in on Sunday, we've got a day off Saturday. We're in on Sunday and then a lead up to go to Czech Republic. But I do think we'll need to take the good for the day, but clearly there's loads to work on. There was a lot of stuff in the first half that surprised me that it should have been a lot better, and I just thought we get caught up in the game, played the game a bit young, and we needed to have a bit more calmness when we're playing. Hopefully we can be better next week again.
Is it hard to explain that lack of tempo and intensity coming off the back of a 5-1 win at the weekend?
Yeah, that's we wanted to get. I thought when we did press properly, we forced them into some mistakes and we got after them, but it's more the tempo in possession. The tempo of possession has been fine. That's the easier part to address, to be honest, the tempo out of possession. And I want us to be a team that nobody really likes to play against, but there's two sides to that. We want to be a team that nobody likes to play against because how organised and how ferocious we are with our press and the aggression. And I think in the main we're getting a lot of that right, but we've also got to be difficult to play against by showing the tempo that's required to play here, and the confidence. A lot of that comes from being confident where we were, and it can look a bit too laboured at times. And that's as a team, that's not just as individuals. I think as a team, that part of it, we have to be more sure of what we're doing in possession, and not just playing fits and starts. And when we do get the crowd in it, even the goals, an example, we get the goal, we've had a few more chances ahead of the goal. The kick-off happens and they get a corner right away that you've got to defend. You get the punters up, they're singing, they're getting behind the team, they say, here we go. And we inexplicably make one or two little wrong errors of judgment, and we have to defend a corner, and it brings an anxiety again. And it's these little things that we need to get more experience, more streetwise way, and more smarter way, because to build confidence here, to build momentum here at Ibrox, you're going to have to stay on top of the job all the time, and can't be holding people's hands the whole 90 minutes for them. They're going to have to really kind of take a bit of ownership of that and be more responsible and a bit more communication when they go amiss on the pitch at times to that organiser.